Today we're catching some sun and waves with Betty, a QHS member whose life is as vibrant and refreshing as a seaside breeze. What currents brought her to the sunny shores of the quantum shift? Let's surf behind the scenes to see the waves she's been riding.
My name is Betty, and I was born in the 40s, right after the war, the baby boom generation. And I was born to parents that had 10 children. I was the oldest of 10. And I was not happy about that growing up, but it definitely prepared me for my own life when I raised 8 children. And my parents were Irish, Indian, and English. That was the ethnic background that we came from. Actually, my great-grandparents came over from England, so they were English immigrants. I grew up in a small town in mid-Missouri. I was born at home. My parents were very strict religious background, and so I wasn't allowed to do a lot of socializing in high school and such. And I can't say I was bullied, but I was definitely a wallflower because I wasn't allowed to participate in the dances and the social life. And so that caused a lot of things that I have had to overcome in my adult life. It's been difficult like that. Then, because of that strict background, I got married very young. And the first marriage I had was very difficult, 7 years of marriage. And then through a lot of abusive relationship, I finally had to leave. And I took my children and 240 pounds of baggage and decided I was going to fly to a place I had never been, which happened to be Phoenix, Arizona. I had several brothers living here, and I just needed to start over. And so went to found a little church here in the valley, a small one. And the first night I went there, actually, I met Fred, and didn't know he was going to be my husband. But I will say that the night I met him, I saw something in his, but all I know now was his aura, but I didn't know that then. But it was a light around him, and I saw his genuineness, the gut level honesty and sincerity of the being that he was. And one thing led to another, and it was, 6 weeks later, and things really happened quickly, that we ended up getting married. And although I had 4 children and he had never been married, he just loved me. I knew he did, and he loved my children. I told him, I said, you can't just love me, you have to love 5 of us. And he did, and I knew that. And so we were married, and he adopted my 4 children, and we had 4 more children, and we raised them all as one family. And I would just like to say that when years before I had all of the children, I had 4, I think, I heard the Lord say that I was called to be a keeper of a flock. And I thought, wow, 4's big flock. Well, I didn't know he meant 8. And when I was 23, though, I had a gallbladder surgery, and they got in there and took out my gallbladder. Then they saw I had a very large tumor on my ovary, my right ovary. So they took that out. And then I woke up to no ovary on my right side, along with a missing gallbladder. And the doctor said, "Do you have any children?" And I said, yes, told him how many. And he said, at that time, 3. He said, "Well, that's good, because you'll probably, the percentages of you ever having any more children is nil." And I had 5 more children on 1 ovary, 1 tube, and all that. But that was just because I believed that was my calling and my mission in life. I always looked at being a housewife. My career was being a housewife and a mother, and that was in my heart. Worked a little bit, a few months here and there, very 2 or 3 times during our married life, mine and Fred's. And because I didn't want someone else to raise my children, have these children, and then have someone else raise them. And so, he felt the same way. So I felt like my calling I'd always looked at it as my career, my being a mother, a housewife, and taking care and managing a house of 8 children for 10 of us. But anyway, that was that part. And then I'll have to say, though, through the years that I had a lot of female problems. Since I was missing the 1 ovary and the 1 tube, there was I had really difficult periods every month. And in the end, about 48 years old, I had a kind of an emergency hysterectomy, because I had lost so much blood that I had to have transfusions, because I just would stop. Well, then I found out it was fibroid tumors, and they were benign. But then when I had the hysterectomy, I never could find, the doctor couldn't seem to get my hormones balanced to where I felt a sense of well-being, because it was like someone hit me in the gut and took my sense of well-being away when my female organs were all gone. And I was never able to, I used different things the doctor recommended, the different hormone balances, and it never did seem to, I don't guess anything can actually fill that void in there. They can give you unnatural things, but it can't really replace what I lost. So in the future, I'm looking forward to that being replaced. We followed Cynthia before QHS from the RV and all that, and we followed her into QHS, the Cardin group. And we found out about the healing of frequency, and we had already been introduced to that several years before, and we knew that frequency was everything, and everything was frequency. We already had that understanding. And so it's been a really good journey, and I'm very grateful for Cynthia and Dr. A and all the team that helped Fred during the device helped him when he was just near death and brought him back. And we're expecting total wholeness in the time to come, because our second mission, our first mission is done, raising the flock that we were given. Now it's we're going to be a blessing to the world, and that's what our heart's desire is, to be a blessing. And we're looking forward to having healthy bodies doing it, and healthy, youthful bodies. I think that's kind of where we are right now. Great expectation. I'm from henceforth expecting.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.